What's up, everybody? Welcome back. And Manchester United are hosting Leicester City in the Premier League tomorrow, Old Trafford, 2 p.m. kickoff. And manager Steve Cooper is coming to Old Trafford again after about a week and a half after that defeat in the League Cup where they lost 5-2, hoping to gain revenge and come away with 3 points. Leicester City last season were not in the Premier League, of course. They were in the Championship, and they won promotion by winning the Championship, finishing first with a total of 97 points. They won 31 games, they drew 4, and they lost 11. They scored a total of 89 goals and conceded 41 and had a goal difference of plus 48. Leicester City did finish only 1 point ahead of Ipswich Town, who finished second, and both of them were of course promoted automatically into the Premier League, along with Southampton, who won the Championship playoff final. In terms of Ipswich Town, they finished on 96 points, and Ipswich did in fact lose only 6 times in the Championship last season compared to Leicester, who lost 11 times. So Ipswich Town just missing out on the title by 1 point there. Leicester City, let's have a look at some insights for the match. So here are some of the insights for the match. Manchester United have lost just 2 of their last 11 Premier League games against Leicester, winning 10 and drawing 5, with those defeats coming consecutively in May and October 2021. Leicester have won just 1 of their last 14 Premier League away games against Manchester United, drawing 3 and losing 10, picking up a 2-1 victory in May 2021. And Manchester United have scored in each of their last 28 games against Leicester since a 1-0 loss in January 1998. In their top flight history, only Arsenal only against Arsenal have they ever had a longer scoring streak. Manchester United have won 16 of their last 18 Premier League games against promoted sides, drawing 2 since a 4-1 loss to Watford in November 2021. And of course, that 4-1 loss to Watford in November 2021 was Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's last game as Manchester United manager. And finally, Manchester United's 12 points this season is their lowest return after 10 top flight games in a season since 1986-87, where they had 8, while their 9 goals scored is their lowest at this stage of a season since 1973-74, and they also scored 9 in that season as well. So there's some insights for the game. Let's have a look at Leicester City's recent form this season. If you have a look at their recent form, they are recently coming away with a draw against Ipswich Town last week, and before that midweek they did of course play Manchester United in the League Cup, and we beat them 5-2, but they did field a very weakened side. I would say their B team, and then before that they did lose to Nottingham Forest 3-1 at home. Then before that they did beat Southampton away from home 3-2. Then they beat Bournemouth as well before that. But before that game they actually lost 4-2 to Arsenal when they were leading 2-0, I think, if I believe. So this season they are currently 15th with 10 points. Obviously 10 games played right now, 2 wins, 4 draws and 4 losses. They've scored 14 goals in the league so far this season, conceded 18, and have a -4 goal difference. In terms of Leicester City's lineup, this is who I'm expecting Leicester City to line up. So of course, Hamansan in net, Pereira, Faes, Vestergaard and Christensen for the back 4, Winks and Ndidi as the defensive midfielders, Fatawu, Buonanotte, Mavididi making the attacking positions, and finally Jamie Vardy playing striker up front. So let's have a little bit of a chat about how Steve Cooper kind of lines up. So essentially, although only 44 years of age, Steve Cooper has been a manager for nearly 20 years. He began studying his UEFA Pro coaching license at the age of 26, and he coached youth teams as well, ambitious teams, and Nottingham Forest in the Premier League as well. So Steve Cooper has learned to be a pragmatist when needed and an idealist when possible as well. So when he was in his relegation battle with Forest, he looked to use the resources available to turn his team into one that was difficult to break down. And that's what you need when you've just come up from the Championship. You need to be difficult to break down, and he relies on his man management skills and on instilling personal belief in his players as well. His teams also play fast-paced attacking football when the opportunity suits them, and he's used several formations in his career as well. Right now, though, he does employ a traditional 4-2-3-1 defensive formation, and the Winks and Ndidi and the two central midfielders in there are quite defensive, and they are looking to protect the back four. However, if possible, Cooper would like to play a 3-4-3 attacking formation, and that would rely on speed and width of the wider midfielders as well. Leicester used this formation on the second day of the season. The team lost 2-1 to Fulham in one of the more important matches of the campaign. And sometimes we may see Steve Cooper revert to using a back three defense shape in the future. However, playing like this against the opposition of a higher caliber seems too much of a risk at the moment as well. So ideally, Steve Cooper will want Leicester to play fluid, quick, counter-attacking football. In their opening game against Tottenham, the Foxes played with a lot of width and attempted many direct passes, but also because of the intensity of the game, many passes didn't reach their destination. So in defending without possession, usually the team tends to switch to a 4-4-2 formation. The fullbacks fall back into position. The wingers tend to slide in to create less width for the opposition to exploit as well. It should also help that Leicester can depend on players that have Premier League experience. Vestergaard and Wout Faes have been, they've been key in their central defensive partnership as well. So in terms of to summarise the tactics, Steve Cooper's got a very flexible tactical setup. He can switch formations, usually will line up in the 4-2-3-1, but can switch to a 3-4-3 sometimes as well, and a 4-4-2 as well when defending. Then he's also quick on the transition. They like to win the ball back and then counter quickly. They capitalize on turnovers as well. They let you have the ball, and the two defensive midfielders are there to protect the back four. They don't really kind of venture on and make any third man runs or anything like that. The attacking is left to the four players, Mavididi, Buonanotte, Fatawu, and of course Vardy to kind of score the goals. They play with a purpose as well. He likes to have brave and confident players on the ball. Pragmatic, defensive, cautious football is how he likes to play, and he takes advantages of the turnovers, of course, like I mentioned as well. So Cooper, what he wants to do, he wants the opposition to come onto them so they have space to break on the counter, and they have no problem in sitting in and waiting so they can exploit the gaps left in behind by the oppositions. So of course, opposition star man, it is going to be Jamie Vardy. He's got 4 Premier League goals and 1 assist in 10 games so far this season, and to be honest, statistically, it is better than any of our forwards so far. I think Garnacho is the highest scorer in the Premier League with 2, and then a smattering of others only have 1 Premier League goal for Manchester United so far this season. So in terms of Manchester United, they're coming into this game with a win against PAOK midweek in the Europa League. To summarise that game, we were poor going forward, but we looked quite good defensively. Passing in the final third was poor in my opinion. We need more quality in those wide areas. Højlund, even though he was a little bit missing against PAOK, only I think it was 14 or 16 touches, very minimal touches, and only 4 out of 6 accurate passes by Højlund. But it has to be said, he was starved of service, and we need wingers to be getting in the ball to Højlund and Højlund is good at making them runs in behind and stretching that defense. And if someone like an Eriksen or a Bruno or a Rashford can find him, then and Højlund can then create a chance out of nothing really, like a long ball or something, then I think he is going to be good for us. But if our striker isn't going to be getting chances, then it's not good for the striker there. And like I mentioned previously, even a striker like Gyökeres is going to struggle in this Manchester United side because we're simply not creating chances for them. So let's have a look at how I would line up Manchester United for this game against Leicester. So here is my team. Let's just go over the team news and the injuries quickly. I think Collier, Maguire, Euro, Shaw, Malacia, Mainu are all out. However, Mount, Ericsson, and Anthony are back. We did see Mount and Ericsson midweek against PAOK. So they're back. Anthony was on the bench, an unused substitute, but everyone else is still injured or they lack match fitness. Shaw and Malacia and Euro are back training with the first team. So yeah, in terms of Manchester United starting 11, this is my starting 11. Of course, Onana and net, Mazraoui at right back. I'm putting him right back because I think he can gain a good partnership with Ahmad at right wing. So Delay and Martinez at centre back, they're coming back in for, I think it was Evans and Lindelof who started against PAOK. And then Dalot at left back, Casemiro and Ericsson in the midfield position. I'm putting in Ericsson because I think the onus is going to be on Manchester United to kind of break Leicester City down, and we're going to have more of the ball, so we need more quality in central midfield, and I don't think Ugarte kind of exhibits that quality, so Ericsson is coming in for Ugarte. And I don't want to drop Casemiro because I think he's been very good so far this season. Apart from that Liverpool game, I think Casemiro has been very good in my opinion. Of course, in the forward positions, Ahmad, Bruno and Rashford. I was calling for Bruno to be dropped earlier on in the season. However, I do think his form has turned around lately and he is starting to put in some decent performances. Not amazing, not like he's getting goals and assists like there's no tomorrow like he was before in previous seasons, but he is creating a little bit more chances and he is looking a little bit more lively on the ball as well. Possibly if he can drop in and drop into central midfield with Ericsson and Casemiro there and make that three, it could work out good for us as well. Then of course Ahmad right wing. I've been banging on about starting Ahmad every single preview and every single game. I'm just seeing Garnacho and Rashford. I have no problem with Rashford starting. I would prefer to Rashford start, so Rashford is starting for me ahead of Garnacho, because Rashford is our best left winger in my opinion, and Ahmad is our best right winger. And then of course Højlund is up front. So yeah, in my opinion, number 17 needs to be benched. He is good coming off the bench against a tied defence, so I think he's best coming off the bench for me. I think we need to start our most technical players, and I think Ahmad is more technical than Garnacho. Garnacho and Rashford are quite similar. They're quite one-dimensional. They want to take on their fullback, kind of push the ball in front of him and just kind of run. And whereas Ahmad is a little bit more technical, a little bit more has a little bit more football IQ. And I think he has more to offer in terms of that right wing position. I don't think Rashford is suited to the right wing, and I don't think Garnacho is suited to the right wing either. So Ahmad has to start for me in my opinion. He is our best right winger as well. So in terms of Man United star man, I know I banged about Ahmad so far, but I think it is going to be Ericsson. Of course, this is if Ericsson does start. Hopefully he does start in my opinion. I really want him to start because I think we need that quality in central midfield against opposition like Leicester. We're going to be dominating the ball, so we need to have good ball playing central midfielders there. He has been our best and most consistent player for Manchester United so far this season in Ericsson, so he has to start for me. So how do you beat them? How do you beat Leicester? So obviously I'm going to say it in every video, you got pace, power, strength, unpredictability. Of course, keep their wide men quiet. For Tau, and I think who else have they got on the wing? And Mavi Didi, they're lively as well. If you keep them quiet, and then you're going to starve Jamie Vardy off service, and Vardy isn't going to score. If I'm not mistaken, I don't believe Jamie Vardy has scored a goal at Old Trafford so far in his career. We need to keep it that way. But yeah, Jamie Vardy, 37 years of age, still going, absolutely insane, that he's still going. So yeah, we need to keep him quiet as well. If the wingers are quiet, then Vardy is going to be quiet as well, and Vardy isn't going to score. Midfield battle as well. I think Casemiro, Ericsson and Bruno need to be winning that midfield battle. Of course, like it is in every game, we need to have confidence on the ball. Stay patient as well. I think they're going to frustrate, and we need to keep the ball ticking and make them move out of position. They're going to be very comfortable in sitting back and defending. Finally, exploit the fullbacks as well. They do like to push the fullbacks up and leave that space in behind. So if we can kind of win the ball in transition while Leicester are possibly attacking sometimes, then we can go forward and exploit that space left in behind through Ahmad and Rashford as well. So also, it is very important that we score early. We have to finish our chances as well. So yeah. Finally, let's have a quick look at the Premier League table. Let's just pull that up on screen because a lot of things happened today in terms of Premier League. So let's just have a look at the top. Of course, Liverpool are 5 points clear after beating Villa 2-0. Manchester City did lose. It's very unfortunate that Man United are all the way down in 13th. If we had picked up a couple more points at the start of the season in games previously, we would be looking to capitalise on dropped points at the top. Amazingly, Forest and Brighton are in the top 4, and Arsenal and Chelsea play each other tomorrow as well. So they're going to be dropping. One of them is going to be dropping points. But yeah, even if Manchester United do win, we aren't going to move out of the bottom half of the league because Brentford did win today against Bournemouth 3-2. So if Man United win, we move on to 15 points, and we are most probably going to be... it depends on our goal difference, but most probably we're going to be 12th or 13th still. That's if we beat Leicester. I think it's very important that we beat Leicester because that gap is getting bigger and bigger as game weeks go by. And like I said, I think top 4 is completely out of the question. However, the minimum that we have to do is finish top half of the league. Finish in a respectable league position. Like we are Manchester United, and of course we want to be getting back to winning. Bare minimum would be challenging for the league every season. That is if we are to be looking at expectations, the minimum expectation for a club like Manchester United is that we challenge for the league every season, not necessarily win it, but be finishing in the top 4 each and every single season and getting close to finishing first is the bare minimum expectation that we should have for a club of the size of Manchester United. But of course, since Sir Alex Ferguson has retired, ever since then, it's just been up and down, and it's just been an absolute kind of 11 years to forget. But yeah, in terms of that game against Leicester, we have to win because we want to be getting away from the relegation zone, and we want to be kind of closing that distance as much as we can to 4th place. Of course, in my opinion, I do believe top 4 is out of the question, but we still need to be picking up points so that we can finish in the league as high as possible. So in terms of my score prediction, I am quite confident for this game. I've said that previously against other games as well, and it hasn't quite worked out for us, unfortunately. But I am going to go for a 4-0 Manchester United win. I know a little bit of a big margin. We've not won by that much in the league, by a 4-goal margin in the league for a long time. I don't know when the last time was when we actually won by a 3 or 4 goal margin in the league. But I am going for a 4-0 Manchester United win. I'm feeling quite confident for the game tomorrow. So scorers, I'm gonna go with Rashford, Højlund, Ahmad, and Bruno. So yeah, in terms of another stat, Manchester United have won just 7 of the last 23 Premier League games, if I'm not mistaken. That is pretty bad. Hopefully we can improve on that, and hopefully we can pick up all 3 points at Old Trafford against Leicester tomorrow for Ruud van Nistelrooy's final game in charge as Manchester United interim manager. Anyway, if you enjoyed this preview, leave a like, comment and subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next one.